Hey everybody, and welcome to Rabbit's Ramblings, podcast 409. In sort of a surprise, the last Descendant has come out, and so I have played that. It is not the worst. Hopefully, you'll enjoy the show.
Means there must be an enemy command center somewhere in the here.
The Last Descendant is a free-to-play game. I believe it's made in Korea, so there is a little bit of weirdness with it, but it is very similar to Warframe. There are also a lot of themes sort of taken from Anthem and Outriders. A lot of reviewers will say it's similar to Destiny, but I really don't think so. There are very few similarities to Destiny, whereas compared to Warframe, it's extremely similar. So anybody who says just Destiny has probably not actually played Warframe or Anthem or Outriders, because it's a lot closer to those. It is a third-person shooter, so you're pretty much picking up a lot of equipment, different weapons, different stuff for your people. You have a bunch of different people you can collect. It is free to play, and you can get everything for free. It will just take some time in later stages, I guess. I think the longest I heard there was a crafting time for was like 3 or 4 days, which is not really a big deal. Most people play a few hours every few days, and so if you have to wait a few days for a thing to be crafted, it should not be a big deal, especially if at that point you're at the very high-end content. Again, it is free to play, so you may as well download it and give it a look if you have any interest in it. I would say it does feel kind of bland and doesn't really pull you in, kind of moment to moment as it were, because a lot of the battles and the enemies feel very samey. I'm pretty sure there's only one faction that I've seen so far. I've only played about maybe 5 to 7 hours total, so I haven't seen very much. I think I'm in the third zone. But there was a very huge boss fight that I fought, which is sort of like a big super unit, and you have to shoot him in certain spots, and then the spots get weak, and then you have to use your grapple hook to go up and smash that off of them, and it was pretty cool. I think each of the super bosses that they call Colossus are all kind of different mechanics, but they all do have that kind of, smash the weak spot off kind of aspect to them, which is okay. I mean, I could see that getting pretty boring pretty quickly, but it's kind of cool. It's also kind of difficult to get into, at least for me, because so far all of the missions I've played have been set for a completion time of 3 to 5 minutes, so it almost feels like it's sort of a mobile game and that you're going to a zone and then you're running through these missions so fast it's like you don't really care. So that's kind of weird. It does, I guess, give you some freedom because you can slam through a couple of missions and then, half an hour later you've done, 3 or 4 missions and you've got a ton of equipment to go through, so that does feel like you're accomplishing something, I guess. But again, for me, it feels kind of like it's going so fast, it's sort of like a mobile pace where it's just like you do the thing, you do the thing, you do the thing, and they don't, hook you in for more than a couple minutes at a time. So it feels, I guess, very non-committal, which is, I wouldn't say not my thing, but certainly it doesn't make me feel like, oh my god, I want to go in and play for 2 hours. It's like, well, I want to go in and play for half an hour. It's more like what that makes me feel like. But it's pretty cool. I mean, you can play for a long time, or you can just play for a few minutes. I guess there is that option. They do throw so much loot at you. I would say don't really even focus on it very much. Just equip sort of whatever's best at that moment. because it's going to go by so quickly. Like I said, in half an hour, you'll do 4 or 5 missions, and you'll probably, I don't know, get 10 or 20 new things in each category. So, like, you'll have a ton of new weapons, you'll have a ton of new systems for your suit. You might have some, I think they're called mods, for your Descendant or your weapons. Those are much more rare, and those don't change anywhere near as often. Those are kind of more long-term things, but pretty much you're going to be upgrading stuff so fast you don't even really have to worry or look at it too seriously, I don't think. Until you start getting purples, then there are combinations of, if you're using this, then you want to have that. And it's not super complicated. It does help. You can certainly, ignore those as well. But still, you're going to be going through them so quickly, just kind of put on whatever is the best one and don't worry too much about the perks. Though you do want to look for ones that will combine better with your character. Like my character I'm using is fire-based, so I want to look for, fire-based bonus stuff. I did also notice that weapon types gain levels as you use them, so that's pretty cool. Like, you'll have a proficiency with auto rifle and then a proficiency with submachine gun. So there is a reason to sort of switch around your weapons and not focus, too much on a single one, because you do want to get those up both for your overall player mastery, which will increase a bunch of stuff, but also I'm going to guess it will increase the effectiveness of that weapon type. So, even if you hate a weapon, you'll still want to use it now and then, so it's not, the absolute worst. Again, as this is a translated game, I think Korean, there is some weirdness with the language, and there's, I don't know if purposeful humor, but some of it just doesn't seem to sound right at all. Like, one of the characters you can get is water-based, and she has a debuff that is laundry. So it's like you're making the bad guy do laundry or something. It doesn't make any sense. And another character is like a chef, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna put the hot taste on you." And it's like, really? Is this really what we're doing? It's okay, fun. I will continue to peek at it, probably pretty casually. I'm not sure if I'll pick it up seriously, because I don't really see the point of, farming out all the different Descendants, especially since you have a limited number you can get. There are resistances by the different colossi to different types, so you will want different Descendants ideally. But outside of the resistances, I still have the lingering question of, well, why am I changing my Descendant? They have different abilities, sure. Like I said, my guy I'm currently playing is fire-based. There's an electric-based one you'll get unlocked really early on. I think within 5 hours I unlocked her. And then there's water-based ones, the ice-based ones, and a poison-based one. And there's tech-based ones. So there are all kinds of different elements, and along with them they have varying abilities. A lot of them are very similar in what they do. Like, this is your main attack ability, this is your defensive ability, this is your small AE ability, this is your sort of ultimate ability, and it's like they're all pretty much that same formula. So I'm like, well, why do you really need to change? And I haven't found an answer for that. But like I said, it's not the worst. It's not pulling me in super hardcore. I might just play every now and then casually, or I might play for, a while and then complete it with one character and then be like, okay, well, I'll put this down now and maybe come back later. But like I said, it is free to play, so if you have any interest in it at all, go ahead and grab it. I would highly recommend you not spend any money on it for, I don't know, at least 20 play hours until you've really gotten into it and really seen what it's like and what it might be like to get the different Descendants and the different weapons, because you can get them all in game. They actually show you, this is the part I need. There's like usually 4 parts for Descendants, and you click on it and you can see exactly where that part drops. And in theory it shouldn't be anything other than time. And if you enjoy playing, spend the time. And if you don't enjoy playing that much and you want to spend money, I would ask, why would you do that? Because if you don't enjoy playing that much, why would you give them money to make it happen faster if you're not really enjoying it? It has never made sense to me. But that's my quick thoughts on it. I might do some more thoughts in 3 weeks when the next podcast is due out. I'm not sure. So that's it for this podcast. Just quick thoughts about the First Descendant. It is 4th of July Pew Pew Day for me, so hopefully everybody had a good time with that and was nice and safe. It is super hot here. It's like 100, so I am roasting, and it's not the best time for me. When the library is open again, I can be in there, and it will be, whatever it is they keep their temperature at. It feels like 65. It's always freezing in there. I literally have to have like winter layer clothing on when I'm inside. It's just completely stupid. I do not understand it. But then I will be back to, normal temperature ranges. Right now, it's like my body doesn't want to eat, or I don't want to move around too much because it's way too hot. But it's just, one day, and then things will be back to normal. But hopefully everybody out there had an okay time and is not struggling like me. And, here's something new that's free to play you can check out if you are interested in that kind of thing. And I don't know exactly what I'll talk about next time, but hopefully I'll see everybody then. Okay, thanks, bye. You have been listening to Rabbit's Ramblings. If you would like to see the show notes or feed the bunny by sending a donation, you can find the show website at www.rabbit.com/podcast/rabbitsramblings.html. When you type Rabbit's Ramblings, don't use a space. If you would like to send me an email, you can do so at rabbit@rabbit.com. If you like my page, you can also post on Facebook at rabb1t's. You can follow me on YouTube at rabb1t's. I have a page on Patreon at www.patreon.com/rabbit, RABB1T. You can set up a monthly recurring subscription there at a price point of your choice. Be sure to put the number 1 in place of I anytime you type rabbit. Rabbit's Ramblings is copyright Eric Stryker, using a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Derivatives License, 2024.